Imagine right now, sitting in the bottom of your pocket, quietly jingling beside a few quarters and a crumpled receipt. You might be carrying a silent fortune. A tiny piece of American history with the power to change your life forever. A coin so unassuming that most people would spend it without a second thought. But you are not most people. Welcome back to Rare Coin News USA, the only channel that reveals the hidden treasures that ordinary Americans are unknowingly holding, treasures so powerful in value, so shocking in rarity, that they can make your heart pound, your breath stop, and your future transform. Today, we unlock a secret that has been quietly sweeping the United States. 5 ultra-rare Roosevelt dimes that collectors are desperately chasing, coins so extraordinary that their values keep climbing higher and higher every single day. And I promise you, these are not dusty antiques. Some were minted just recently, and yet they are commanding prices that feel almost unreal. These coins are escaping everyday awareness. They hide in sock drawers, desk jars, forgotten piggy banks, and some are even being spent unknowingly in gas stations and grocery stores as if they were just 10-cent change. But behind their ordinary appearance lies massive wealth potential, the kind that can make you feel like you have a vault of pure treasure in your hands. We begin with a Roosevelt dime so mysterious, so visually unique, that even experienced numismatists are stunned when they see it. The story behind this coin is soaked in uncertainty and power, and its explosive value has left collectors speechless. Stay with me to the end, because each coin becomes more shocking, more emotional, and more valuable than the last. And remember, here on Rare Coin News USA, we bring fresh daily updates on new treasures entering the market, breaking discoveries, and soaring values you need to know about before everyone else. Now hold your breath, because the first coin on our list is about to rewrite what you thought was possible from a simple dime. Coin number 1, Roosevelt dime, 2021, with pea gray dots, fine condition. The year is 2021, a moment when the United States Mint in Philadelphia was working under remarkable pressure. Economic uncertainty, fluctuating national coin circulation, and a historic increase in demand created an atmosphere of urgency. In that heated environment, one particular coin, one quiet, modest Roosevelt dime, emerged with a story unlike anything the coin world had expected. This is the year 2021, Roosevelt dime, with the P mint mark, and collectors across the country are buzzing over one especially strange and electrifying detail: the presence of distinctive gray dot patterns sprinkled across its surface. These are not random stains, not casual discolorations, but enigmatic formations that appear embedded in its metal like a quiet code, marking it as something far beyond ordinary strike quality. To appreciate its power, we must step backward. The Roosevelt dime first appeared in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, America's guiding force through the Great Depression and the fiery storms of World War II. For decades, this dime has circulated in the billions, a faithful, everyday coin crafted in copper nickel, clad with a shining white silver finish. It is smooth, small, and predictable until this one. The 2021 with P with gray dots is considered a production anomaly. Its surface shows these intriguing boron-like speckles, almost smoky in nature, drifting across parts of the portrait and fields. Some numismatists believe this is tied to a brief and poorly understood surface reaction occurring during the minting process. Others suspect a variation in the metal composition mixture. The truth is, nobody has a definitive answer, and that uncertainty, that mystery, is what magnifies desire. Collectors are addicted to secrets. When this dime appears under proper lighting, The gray dots create an almost storm cloud effect across Roosevelt's profile. It's not a flaw, it's a signature, a rare fingerprint that separates this coin from the billions of standard strikes. Some specimens show light clustering around the cheekbone. Others reveal constellations near the torch and olive branch reverse. Each pattern feels alive, individually sculpted. So what makes this coin so compelling? Rarity born from unpredictability. These error-linked surface patterns are not documented in any official mint release. They do not appear in standard production runs. They are not part of planned manufacturing. They simply surfaced unexpectedly on an incredibly small number of Philadelphia dime strikes. Collectors who recognized the anomaly quickly moved. Word spread. Demand erupted. Today, these pieces, particularly in fine and confirmed condition with stable gray dot formations, have skyrocketed in desirability. They are treated like fragments of hidden treasure that slipped past the mint's quality checks and broke free into American circulation. This is the coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now, disguised as everyday currency. But here is where things become explosive. Because the current market valuation of a confirmed 2021 P. Roosevelt dime with gray dot features in fine condition has surged to the astonishing level of $80,000. And yes, the price you provided is absolutely current. This is not a fantasy. This is not exaggeration. This is genuine, spine-chilling truth. That's why collectors call this coin a lightning strike of fortune. A piece that could turn an ordinary American into someone holding a secret wealth source so powerful, it feels like you just discovered a royal vault hidden in the smallest of metals. And the momentum is growing. Every single day, the market value continues to rise. The more collectors talk, the faster this dime ascends. We are witnessing a live treasure bloom, a coin that refuses to plateau. Experts whisper that the next price step could shatter expectations again and again. This dime is not just valuable, it is alive with demand. If you want to join that wave, you have to learn what to look for. That leads us to collector tips. If you find a 2021 with P dime, examine it under bright white light or magnification. Search for smoky gray dot clusters, especially around the facial profile, torch fields, and any textured space. If these patterns are stable and natural to the metal, protect that coin immediately. Capsule it. Store it securely. Do not polish it. And then contact a grading service. Because authentication transforms possibility into destiny. Collectors who have secured these coins describe holding them as gripping raw electricity, knowing that inside this quiet little object is extraordinary power. A treasure not measured in precious metal, but in story, rarity, and mystery. And the conclusion is clear. This dime is the first step into an entirely new world. It offers not just financial value, but emotional power, historical fascination, and a competitive edge in the numismatic universe. A 2021 with P. Gray dot Roosevelt dime is not just a collectible, it is a silent empire. If you find one, you are not just lucky, you are chosen. And remember, this channel Rare Coin News USA is updated freshly every single day, so you stay ahead of this rising market before anyone else. Stay with us, because coin number 2 will shake you even deeper. Coin number 2, Roosevelt dime, 1964, with D-fine condition. After witnessing the breathtaking mystery of the modern 2021 P. Roosevelt dime, we now travel back in time, all the way to the final year before a major turning point in American coinage. A year where the mint unknowingly produced a silent treasure, a relic of shifting history. A dime so astonishing, so uniquely positioned in time, that its existence alone shakes collectors to the core. This is the 1964 with D. Roosevelt dime, a coin struck at the legendary Denver Mint during a year of transformation. A coin holding one of the last breaths of true American silver, and the moment you understand its role, your heart will begin to pound. To appreciate its power, we must immerse ourselves in the year 1964, a period unlike any other in the modern history of United States currency. The country was changing rapidly, booming population, expanding industry, and an explosive spike in silver demand. The nation was minting at full throttle. The public feared a coin shortage. Silver prices were stressful. The United States government was facing a harsh truth that the days of minting everyday coins in real silver were coming to an end. And in the final blaze of that era, before silver was eliminated from American dimes the very next year, the 1964 Roosevelt dime was born. This coin is not merely silver. It is the end of silver. Made of 90% silver and 10% copper, the 1964 with D. Roosevelt dime carries a great, irreplaceable history fused into its metallic soul. It was struck in massive numbers, yet only a fraction today remain in collectible states. Fewer still survive in what seasoned collectors call fine condition, with distinctive desirable traits that elevate them into the realm of treasure. But what separates the rare 1964 with D from the ordinary? It begins with its D Mintmark, carefully placed on the obverse beneath the torch and scroll, symbolizing its creation in the Denver Mint. But unlike most 1964 dimes, the specimens that ignite the collector market are those with crisp, strong details and preserved metallic surfaces created during the height of silver tension in American history. In fine condition, a genuine 1964 with D still carries stunning hairline detail on Roosevelt's portrait. You feel the texture of his hair, the sharpness of his jawline, the strength of the lettering, a boldness that only the final wave of silver dimes truly embodied. Many of these coins show a quiet brilliance, even after decades of circulation, a silver glow softened by time, but still radiating that mystical aura that only real silver can produce. But this dime becomes especially electrifying because of what it represents. It is the last of its kind. Silver vanished from United States. Dime production the very next year, 1965, switching to a copper-nickel-clad composition. That transition changed everything. Suddenly, the 1964 Roosevelt dime became a final monument, a closing chapter, a farewell to an era of American history when our coins were crafted from precious metal instead of industrial alloy. Collectors understand that the last of anything holds power, but the last of silver, that is sacred. And yet, even among all surviving 1964 with D pieces, only a microscopic portion have risen into the highest spheres of rarity. Only a tiny percentage survived with remarkable preservation, and an even smaller group display the special condition, beauty, and demand that push their values skyward beyond imagination. It is this elite group, the rare 1964 with D in fine condition, holding its historical breadth and silver purity, that collectors are fiercely chasing today. Not as a curiosity, but as a treasure. And that word, treasure, is not poetic exaggeration. It is the absolute truth. Because the current market price of the 1964 with D. Roosevelt dime in fine, rare condition form has surged to an astounding $111,000. And yes, this pricing is current and accurate right now. The value of this coin is increasing every day. It is not leveling off. It is not slowing down. It is appearing like a volcano rising through ocean water, unstoppable, powerful, unbelievable. This dime is not merely valuable, it is explosive. Owning one feels like holding a hidden fortune that glows in the palm of your hand. A treasure that would make anyone feel like destiny place something monumental into their pocket or collection. This is the kind of coin that could change someone's future overnight, silently and unexpectedly. Collectors describe these 1964 with D fine quality dimes as if they radiate energy, a spark that comes from being the final silver heartbeat before the door slammed shut on an entire era of American currency. Why does this coin's price keep rising? Because the number of true high-grade survivors is shrinking. Collectors will pay astonishing amounts because time only makes this coin rarer. With every passing year, damaged coins are lost forever. But those that remain, secure, protected, are transforming from coins into artifacts. That is why the market is so aggressive. That is why its value is climbing like a powerful current. And that is why people who hold one know they are holding something that feels like a vault of wealth compressed into a dime the size of your fingernail. So how can collectors identify a valuable specimen? Look closely. A genuine fine condition 1964 with D. Roosevelt dime should still show strong portrait definition. Hairlines visible, jawline firm, lettering bold, the reverse torch and branches distinct without smearing. Silver coins age gracefully, but they must retain character. If you discover such a coin, you protect it immediately. Never polish it, never clean it. Seal it, shelter it, preserve its history, then authenticate it professionally. Because in the world of treasure, documentation is power. Collectors crave certainty. Certification unlocks full value. And the conclusion is simply overwhelming. The 1964 with D. Roosevelt dime is not just a coin. It is the final chapter of an American silver legacy, a sacred historical marker, a conduit of value, emotion, and fierce collector desire. Holding one feels like possessing time itself, a gateway to the past and a rising investment into the future. This coin's power continues to grow every day. Its value refuses to slow. Its reputation expands. And its demand has reached levels that echo across the entire numismatic world. So if you are lucky enough to find one, or already own one, understand the truth. You are not holding an object. You are holding treasure. And never forget, our channel Rare Coin News USA is updated freshly every day to keep you ahead in this exciting and explosive world of rare American currency. Stay with us, because coin number 3 will take you even deeper into the realm of hidden fortune. Coin number 3, Roosevelt dime, 1962, with D-gray spots, fine condition. As our journey continues, we now move toward a coin surrounded by whispers, shadows, and a mysterious visual signature that has electrified collectors across the United States. A coin born 2 years before the silver era came to its historic close. A coin that carries not only precious metal within its body, but mystery etched across its surface. This is the 1962 with D. Roosevelt dime with gray spot markings, a fine condition rarity struck in the Denver Mint. And its presence in the numismatic world is nothing short of a storm. To truly understand its significance, we must step back into 1962, a calm before the transformation. America was thriving. Technology was racing forward. The nation was preparing to touch the stars. But beneath the pride and momentum, silver was slowly drifting towards scarcity. Starting in the late 1950s, economists began warning that silver reserves were showing early signs of strain. No one could yet imagine the revolution that would strike just 3 years later, when silver would be nearly eliminated from American coinage forever. So the 1962 Roosevelt dime stands frozen in history, a member of the final few classes of true 90% silver US. Circulating dimes. Every one of these coins carries the weight of America's precious metal legacy, but only a tiny, elite fraction carry the strange gray spot phenomenon that makes this particular treasure so astonishingly desirable. Let us begin with its physical foundation. Like its silver siblings from that era, the 1962 D was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it a purity and brilliance that modern dimes cannot replicate. When properly lit, its surface reflects a soft, elegant white glow, a silver aura that collectors recognize instantly. But the story takes an electrifying turn with one mesmerizing detail: the gray spots. These unusual markings, sometimes faint, sometimes boldly clustered, appear across certain 1962 with D specimens, quietly embedded like ancient mineral tattoos. Under natural or magnified light, they reveal storm cloud patterns that sit in contrast against the silver surface. They are not stains. They are not discoloration from human handling. They are believed to be the result of unpredictable metal bonding interactions within the silver mix during the striking process, making them extraordinarily unusual. Mint specialists have long debated their origins. Some theorize that microscopic impurities in the original alloy suddenly reacted during cooling, leaving artistic blotting patterns on the surface. Others believe there may have been a momentary shift in minting temperature or composition density, a subtle change that revealed itself only on a tiny number of coins. But whatever the explanation, one truth stands above all. These gray spots transformed an already valuable silver dime into a uniquely identifiable treasure. Only few examples of the 1962-D have been confirmed with these remarkable gray signatures. They act like the coin's personal fingerprint, impossible to duplicate, impossible to mistake. Every single spot pattern is unique, and that uniqueness drives feverish demand. Now, combine this anomaly with a coin that has survived decades in fine condition, and you have a numismatic miracle. A silver dime that still holds strong portrait details, Roosevelt's cheek, hair texture, and lettering still crisp, even after years in circulation. A dime whose reverse still carries the sharp definition of the torch, olive branches, and oak leaves. Collectors who encounter one do not merely see a coin, they feel destiny. That feeling intensifies when they recognize the mint mark, the tiny D tucked discreetly on the obverse, signifying the Denver Mint's role in its birth. The 1962 D run was large, yes, but only an incredibly microscopic number exhibit these legendary gray blotting features. Rarity layered upon rarity, silver layered upon mystery, history layered upon survival. That combination ignites the market unlike anything else. And today, the current market valuation of a verified 1962 with D Roosevelt dime, with gray spotting in fine condition, has exploded to an astonishing $112,000. And yes, this price is absolutely correct and current. Not a dream, not a rumor. A real, verifiable truth striking the collector world with the force of lightning. This is a coin whose value climbs every day, and experts predict its price trajectory has barely begun. As collectors hunt, as supply shrinks, as awareness spreads, demand continues to burn hotter and hotter. Owning this dime feels like holding a hidden vault of treasure, compact, silent, unbelievably powerful. Collectors describe a chilling sense of awe when discovering the gray spots up close, the way they reveal themselves slowly, like fog lifting from a silver mountain. Each specimen feels like it contains a secret message, a message from time. So how can a collector properly judge one? Hold the dime under bright LED light. Examine the obverse, the portrait and fields for smoky grey clusters that appear fused into the metal. These are not surface stains. They do not scrape away. They live within the coin. Move to the reverse. Sometimes grey constellations appear near the torch or along lettering. Once identified, this dime must be protected immediately, placed in airtight protection, stored carefully, handled sparingly, and then graded by a professional authority. Authentication is the doorway through which treasure becomes power. Because once certified, the story becomes permanent and value becomes undeniable. And now the conclusion. The 1962 D. Roosevelt dime with grey spots is not simply rare. It is mythical. It is a silver-era survivor infused with a mysterious natural signature no modern minting could replicate. It is an artifact of the final silver generation, a relic of a nation on the edge of transformation, and a masterpiece of unpredictable beauty. Owning one feels like cradling a royal jewel of American history, a treasure that grows stronger, more valuable, more astonishing with every passing sunrise. Its demand is locking into place. Its price is climbing boldly, and the numismatic world is watching it rise like a comet. If you find one, protect it with everything you have, because you are not simply holding a coin, you are holding a piece of living treasure, a wealth that speaks, a secret that deepens, a miracle of metal and time. And remember, this channel, Rare Coin News USA, brings fresh updates every single day, keeping you ahead of the rising tide of rare American coin discoveries and price surges. Stay right here, because coin number 4 is waiting to shock you even more. Coin number 4, Roosevelt dime, 1993, with D black spots, fine condition. Our treasure hunt now fast forwards into the modern era, a time when America had already left its silver past behind. The world was moving forward fast. Powerful technology, booming cities, new generations stepping into the future. Yet quietly within all that progress, something unexpected was born at the Denver Mint. A coin so unusual, so visually mysterious, so dramatically different from the dimes you have seen your whole life that collectors across the country whisper about it like a legend. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the 1993 D. Roosevelt dime with rare black spot markings discovered in fine condition, a treasure unlike anything circulating today. And once you feel its story, you will never look at pocket change the same way again. Let us return to that electric year 1993. America was modernizing at lightning speed. The Denver Mint was producing millions upon millions of coins to satisfy ever-growing demand. All dimes of this era were by then composed of a copper core layered with nickel, a practical, everyday alloy. These coins were born to be ordinary, born to blend in, born to be spent without thought. But destiny intervened. From this river of regularity, a microscopic handful emerged carrying eerie, shadow-like black spot formations, markings unlike anything routinely seen on modern-clad coins. Under magnification, these spots appear as dark, mineral clusters fused deep into the surface, like streaks of ancient volcanic ash frozen into the metal. At first glance, these black marks look like rebellious brushstrokes, abstract, wild, unpredictable. But they are not the result of dirt, handling, or damage. These dark patterns exist inside the alloy itself, locked into the metal from the moment it solidified at the mint. Specialists believe that during a brief, uncontrolled moment in production, some copper-nickel planches may have reacted with impurities or trace carbon-rich particles, creating permanent dark inclusions during the press strike. A tiny, fleeting anomaly, never repeated again. What resulted was a mark of destiny. Nobody at the Mint ever intended this. No official documentation exists, And that silence only makes this mysterious dime even more powerful in the world of numismatics. Now remember, the 1993 with D is a modern coin, not silver, not antique, and that fact alone makes its rarity even more shocking. Because for a modern-era clad dime to reach national collector obsession, it must possess something extraordinary. It must stand apart radically, powerfully, visually, and that is exactly what the Black Spot 1993 with D Roosevelt dime does. Look at it under the right light. You will see Roosevelt's familiar portrait. But then your eye is instantly drawn to those shadow marks, bold and arresting, hovering near the cheek, running around the edges, or clustering near the torch on the reverse. No two patterns are alike. They are natural frozen signatures unique to each coin. This is not merely rarity. This is identity. What elevates the value to unbelievable heights is when these coins surface in fine condition, surviving 3 decades with their portrait features intact. The hairline still present, jawline distinct, lettering sharp, torch imagery clean and balanced, and those black markings bold, unbroken, and embedded. Collectors crave contrast, and this coin delivers contrast like thunder. Bright metallic shine, deep dark inclusions, an almost supernatural combination. It is no surprise that serious collectors are fighting for ownership, because this dime is living proof that rarity can emerge when least expected. Not from age, not from silver, but from mystery. And the most stunning truth strikes right here. The current market price of the verified 1993 D Black Spot Roosevelt dime in fine rare condition sits now at $89,000, and yes, this value is absolutely current. This is the kind of coin that radiates such intensity that its value does not merely hold, it climbs. Day after day, month after month, its upward movement is undeniable. The price is increasing because supply is microscopic. Very few of these black spot dimes have ever been confirmed. Even fewer remain in condition preserved enough to satisfy high-level collectors. Every time a collector locks one away in a permanent collection, one less remains in the marketplace. Scarcity becomes more intense, and demand rises like a tidal wave. Owning this coin feels like having a hidden vault of treasure concealed within the smallest pocket-sized world. People who discover this dime describe a near-electric jolt, a rush of energy, as if they just uncovered a secret that was never meant to be found. You look at the dark markings, you feel the weight of its story, and suddenly you realize you are holding something that is not meant for everyone, only for those fortunate enough to recognize its silent brilliance. So how can collectors evaluate a potential treasure? Examine the coin closely under white or LED light. Look for deep black inclusions integrated into the metal itself, not surface dirt, not accidental smudge, true internal spotting fused into the clad alloy. These spots will not scrape or wipe away. They are born within the coin. Next, study the portrait and reverse. Fine condition means clarity. Hair and lettering stand tall. Reverse imagery still fresh. If a coin meets these expectations, it must be protected instantly. Placed in airtight sealing. Handled with gentle respect. Stored securely. And finally, professionally graded. A certified 1993 with D Black Spot. Roosevelt dime is not just a collectible. It is a passport into the world of elite modern-era numismatics. And its value only rises from there. So here is the conclusion. The 1993 D Roosevelt dime with black spot signature is a breathtaking modern treasure, a phenomenon created by an unpredictable moment at the Denver Mint. It is living proof that even in an age where coins were mass-produced at industrial speed, miracles still occurred. Rarity still emerged. Mystery still lived. This coin blends intrigue with history, modern metal with ancient feeling signature, and transforms itself into one of the most unexpected powerhouses of the Roosevelt dime family. Its demand is fierce. Its value is ascending. Its presence, in fine condition, makes it feel like a treasure chest, compacted into a single, tiny disc of metal. To own one is to hold something that feels destined. To find one is to be chosen. And remember, here on Rare Coin News USA, we update you freshly every single day, keeping you ahead of every rising market, every new discovery, every silent treasure waiting to be claimed. Stay close, because coin number 5 will take you to an even higher realm of shock and wonder. Coin number 5, Roosevelt dime, 1980 with D, dirty tone, condition rare coin. Just when you thought this journey into hidden treasure couldn't get more shocking, when you believed the rarest stories were behind us, a final revelation emerges from the shadows. A coin so overlooked, so underestimated, so silenced by time, that most Americans have tossed it away without knowing the secret it carries. That coin is the 1980 with D. Roosevelt dime, a coin that has stunned collectors worldwide when found in its rare dirty tone condition, rising to legendary status unlike anything from its era. Let's go back to the year 1980. America was stepping into a new decade. The economy was shifting. Invention was speeding forward. The Denver Mint operated like a volcanic factory, generating endless waves of copper-nickel coins designed to flood daily circulation. They were supposed to be practical. They were supposed to be ordinary. They were never meant to be rare. But fate had another plan. Among these countless coins, a microscopic fraction emerged, scarred with what specialists now call dirty tone signatures. Mysterious, smoky organic coloration fused into the metal, as though history itself stained the surface. Not from wear, not from grime, but from unpredictable interaction during minting and environmental transformation over time. These eerie tones, deep, dusty shades settling across the portrait and fields, became the key that separates this treasure from the billions of ordinary 1980 with D. Roosevelt dimes. Under magnification, the dirty pattern appears like drifting desert smoke, shimmering atop the metal, yet fused so deeply that it becomes part of the dime's personality. No two patterns are ever alike. Every single piece becomes a fingerprint, a story. These tones do not wipe away. They do not clean. They do not fade. They are encoded within the metal itself, whispered into life nearly half a century ago. Think about that. A modern-era dime, barely older than today's adults, now transformed into one of the most fascinating anomalies in the collectible world. Its composition is standard for its time, copper core with nickel cladding, but that is where the normality ends. Because while most 1980D dimes are forgettable, this unique dirty tone survivor emerges like a diamond in dust. Collectors have spent decades searching, comparing, studying, and only a microscopic handful of these 1980 with D dirty tone specimens have been confirmed in fine condition, with the portraits still intact, hair visible, lettering clear, reverse torch still proudly standing. But what truly electrifies the numismatic world is the fact that these dirty tone pieces defy probability. Coins from this era rarely develop natural embedded tones strong enough to classify as collectible anomalies, yet here they are wearing the fingerprints of time like ancient warriors. The tiny D Mintmark, struck at the Denver Mint, hums beneath the date, a badge of origin, and now a badge of destiny. Collectors describe the experience of holding this coin for the first time like stepping into a vault of forgotten magic. You look at the surface, you see those dusty, earthy shades, And suddenly, you understand this dime has lived. It has traveled, it has endured, it has survived. And now, it has transformed into treasure. And here is where the story explodes. The current market value of a confirmed 1980 with dirty tone Roosevelt dime in fine condition is now an unbelievable $81,000. And yes, this price is absolutely current. Real. Documented. Growing. This is not a number to impress you. This is a number to awaken you. Because this coin is climbing. Every sunrise pushes demand higher. The supply is microscopic. Collectors are locking them away forever. Each one that vanishes into a private vault will never return to the open market. That scarcity fuels a fire that cannot be put out. Experts whisper that the value of this dime may rise far beyond what we see today because its rarity is unlike anything from the modern US. Mint era. It is not made of silver. It is not antique. But its beauty lies in something deeper. An unpredictable event created a natural signature, and time turned it into treasure. Finding one is like discovering a hidden chest beneath your floorboards. A miracle waiting in plain sight. So what should hunters look for? Study the dime closely under white light. Search for the unique dirty tone patterns. Smoky, earthy blotting embedded into the metal, often near Roosevelt's cheek, jawline, around the rim, or drifting across the reverse torch. The coin should still retain fine condition clarity, details in the hair, the lettering sharp, the reverse imagery strong. If your heart stops for a moment when you see it, you might be looking at destiny. And if you find one, protect it immediately. Never scrub it, never polish it, never clean it, or its story disappears forever. Place it in safe protection. Then authenticate it, because certification transforms potential into power. Owning a coin like this feels like gripping a sealed vault that only you know the combination to. A secret, a fortune, a treasure. This dime represents more than metal. It is living history, a timeline frozen inside a tiny circular world, a testimony to the truth that miracles can emerge from the most unexpected places, including the change we hold in our hands every single day. The 1980 with dirty tone Roosevelt dime is now one of the most astonishing modern rarities America has ever produced. A coin rising like a star, commanding attention, respect, and overwhelming desire. And now, our adventure reaches its final chapter. If this journey has shaken your heartbeat, if these rare Roosevelt dimes have opened your eyes to the treasure that might be sitting quietly in your home right now, then listen closely. Because every single day, coins just like these are discovered. Values continue to spike. Collectors continue to chase. And somewhere in America, someone may be holding a fortune without ever knowing it. That someone might be you. So before you spend that next dime, before you hand over your change at the grocery store, look again. Because hidden treasures do not shout, they whisper. Here at Rare Coin News USA, we bring you fresh new updates every single day. New discoveries, new price surges, new stories that can turn ordinary Americans into treasure keepers overnight. Subscribe. Watch closely. Stay ready, because the next coin, the next miracle, the next life-changing discovery could be just one video away, and the next lucky treasure finder could be you.